was just hoping you could tell us a bit about your 2020, what it was like for you.
Yeah, it was very frustrating. Obviously, our first mandated to fight Ryan Walsh. Well, I boxed in October to start with, and we knew we would just get about to be mandated for the British, so we thought, oh, we're going to be out fairly soon. But then obviously Ryan was in the contract. He wanted to keep his belt, which is fair. 2 seconds, someone's trying to ring me, which is fair enough. But then he didn't want to fight me, and he didn't want to give his belt up, and he was in a bit of a predicament of what to do. So that just left me hanging until the board finally obviously stripped him of it. Then the board ordered me to fight Jordan Gill. But at this point, we'd already done a camp because obviously Ryan Walsh said he's going to fight me. So we'd already started doing a camp. Then obviously with Jordan Gill, and then he's pulled out, and then obviously Lee Wood. But it's been 15 months now. I mean, I've never come out of the gym. I'm always in the gym, but yeah, very frustrating.
When you're this close to the British title shot after everything you've been through in the last year or so with pullouts and changes and stuff like that, is there almost a bit of relief in the back of your mind that it's almost here now?
Yeah, it's here now, I'm just glad I didn't come out of the gym and I stayed on it, and I just kept my mind on it, even though a few times I was a bit, well, when's it going to happen? I always kept on it, and then obviously we knew quite a while ago of the date, and it's around the date time. So I've been on it for the last probably 12 weeks. I've been hard at it.
Reece, I was hoping you could tell us a bit about your preparation there. You said you've never took your foot off the gas waiting for this opportunity. Seen you've been getting the rounds in with Josh, but a couple of weeks out from this fight, you were sparring with Zelfa Barrett as well. Tell me a bit about how beneficial it's been to be able to share rounds with that caliber of opposition going into this fight.
Yeah, I mean, I've been sparring rounds with people like that since I've been 19. So for the last 6 or 7 years, I've been in with world champions and stuff and holding my own. And I mean, I did a lot with Carl Frampton towards the end of back end of last year. But yeah, we've sparred a lot of different southpaw, orthodox, switch hitters, strong boxers for this camp, just because we don't really know what Lee Wood's going to bring to this fight. So we've just covered all areas really on what to do. So we've needed them different sparring partners in to cover that.
Now, Lee was in here just before, and he told us this could be a firefight on Saturday night. Can we expect a fight of the night contender here?
Oh, definitely, especially if he's doing what he's going to say him to do, if he's going to come and give it to me and put pressure on me straight from off go, I'm going to meet him, and it'll be an early night for him because I'll take him straight out. There's no questions with that. Whether if he wants to box me, I'll box him. But I will get to him later on in the fight.
And Reece, just finally from me, the British title, the Lonsdale belt, is a special belt for any fighter of any level. What would it mean to you to be able to take that back up the road Saturday evening?
Oh, everything. I mean, I've trained for the last 16 years of my life, and it's all come down to this 36 minutes, and it's going to mean everything when I take that belt home to my family and my little girl on Saturday night.
All right, Reece, I'll pass you on to the other guys. Thank you and good luck.
Cheers, mate. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Ryan. If you go to Ben next, please.
Hi, Reece. You said it's obviously the biggest fight of your career. Would you say this is definitely the toughest test as well that you've faced?
Yeah. I'm not denying that it's an hard fight, but it's the right fight at the right moment. So I think boxing's all about timing, and this has just come at the right time for me. I think Lee's coming to the end of his career now, and I'm just rising. This is my breakout fight, what I've needed.
And training with Josh, and you mentioned sparring with Carl Frampton. Have they been giving you advice, any messages of support, obviously, like from Frampton from across the water?
Yeah, I haven't spoke to Frampton since I last sparred him, but Josh definitely, yeah. I mean, even when he's not sparring the same night as me, he'll come in and watch me, and he's always having little words and stuff along with his dad. Just giving me little pointers and just things like that.
And you've had the experience of winning a title with the English belt. Do you feel that experience is going to help you on Saturday night?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I've got a lot of pressure on me on Saturday night on Sky Sports, but I feel on that night, I mean, I sold the venue out at Doncaster in my own town. It was the first big night of boxing. I had a lot of pressure on me that night, and I got the job done early that night, and that's when he came to fight me, and look what happened there.
Brilliant. Thanks very much, Reece. Best of luck.
Thanks.
Thanks, Ben. If you go to James Lupton next, please.
Yeah,
Hi, Reece. How you doing, mate?
not too bad, mate. You?
Good stuff. Yeah, very good. Thank you, mate. Just want to touch on what something that Lee Wood said earlier in the call. He mentioned about his experience, something that you don't have. He said that you can't buy experience. You can't pretend you've got experience. You've got to go through that and have the experience. He feels that's going to play a big part in his game. With yourself, you mentioned the sparring partners you've had. They're at the highest level. How much experience can you gain from those spars, even though it's not under the lights as such?
Yeah, obviously it's not under the lights, but if you don't let all it really is a camera in front of your face watching you what you're doing. I mean, some of the spars what I'm having, there might be 20 people in there watching me on what I'm doing, picking faults and stuff like that. I'm not bothered who's on the outside of that ring. I'm more bothered about fighting. It doesn't bother me who's watching me or anything like that. I just go in there to fight and do my own thing.
Lee also mentioned he feels that you are at your most dangerous early in the fight. You've already mentioned so far today that you feel you can get to him later in the fight. Just for those who may not have seen you fight before, what's your engine like, and can you withstand a 12-round fight?
Listen, if I can go 12 rounds with Josh Warrington at his pace and to and fro all the way through at 36 minutes, I can go 36 minutes with Lee Wood at his pace.
Absolutely. Talk to me a little bit about as well. You're obviously undefeated. You've never experienced losing as a professional. How big a part will that play into your mindset? Obviously, you don't know what it feels like to lose, but you've got that winning mentality. Obviously, he's coming off a loss as well.
Yeah, obviously, I don't know what it feels like to lose, and I don't want to know what I feel like, and I'm not gonna. He does. He's got that in the back of his mind. He's also got this big pressure on him that he's going to knock me out, he's going to do this, he's going to do that to me. I've got nothing on my shoulders. It's all sat on top of his shoulders, and we'll see how he carries that on Saturday night.
And then just the last one from me. How does it feel to go into this fight as the underdog?
Buzzing. I've not been on underdog since my amateur days, really. I know my English title fight, that on paper that were an hard fight, but yeah, I'm excited. Quite pleased that I'm an underdog. It's got a new buzz to me.
Top man. Best of luck. Cheers, Reece.
Cheers, mate. Thanks.
Thanks, James. You go to Danny Flexon from Seconds Out next, please.
Hey, Reece, how you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Just picking up on something James was just asking about. You're younger, you're fresher, you're on better form, arguably the bigger puncher as well. Do you think you should be the underdog, or do you feel like you should be the favourite going into this?
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, I think I should be the underdog, going off what Lee's done and who he's boxed, and the TV shows and the platforms what he's boxed on. I'm not really known unless you're in the boxing sort of circle, training-wise. I'm not known out there on Sky Sports and etc. like Lee Wood is. So it makes sense for him to be the favourite. I know he knows deep down that he knows this is an hard fight.
And do you think, because you've alluded to it there, going up against him, a name on Sky Sports, is that as valuable to you perhaps as the British title itself, the opportunity to put your name out there?
Yeah. I'm glad I got someone like Lee. When they mentioned it would be Jordan Gill, I'm like, yeah, fair enough. But then when he pulled out and they put Lee, I got more of a buzz out of that because I believe Lee Wood's a bigger name than what Jordan Gill is. I know I'll get more recognition when I do beat Lee Wood on Saturday night.
It's been mentioned, obviously, you train alongside Josh Warrington, spar him regularly as well. We haven't talked much about Sean O'Hagan, who's the man behind you both. He's often looked at as kind of a comedy figure, someone who's quick with a quip, if you like, but he's obviously an excellent trainer as well. And just tell us a little bit about what he's done for your development.
Yeah, well, you've only got to look at the stats I mean, Lee's going off about. I mean, I've got nothing against Ben Davison. I know him from being at venues and stuff like that, and I've shook his hand and stuff. So I've got nothing against him. But really, what champions has he made? Yeah, he's got champions, but what champions has he made from 0 to like Josh 30? Who has he made? Do you know what I mean? And then you've got to look at Sean. He's took Josh from he was a good amateur, but not the elite amateur. He's brought him to world titles. Now he's on edge of unifying. Then we've got Maxi Hughes, who obviously got beat in his British title contest. He got stopped. He brought Maxi Hughes out of retirement, and now he's got him in top 15 with WBC. It's took me from similar sort of thing as Josh. I was a good amateur, but not on the elite level. And I'm undefeated. I've not put a step wrong yet. I've not needed to change what I'm doing. I mean, I think that speaks for itself. He's training champion. He's building champions, not just training champions. If you get what I'm saying.
That's brilliant. I really appreciate it, and obviously, very best of luck for Saturday night.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Thanks, Danny. If we go to Ames next, please.
Ames here for Boxing News TV. Good to speak to you again, Reece. How you doing?
Not too bad, mate. Are you?
Yeah, not too bad at all. So I was just wanted to speak to you about last time out. You were against Bayardo Ramos in front of that Leeds crowd. This time there's no crowd. A big difference here, especially obviously coming back off a fight in Leeds. Do you think that'll play any factor in terms of how you perform at all?
No, I mean, I mentioned it in the interview. One is what I've just done now. I'm not bothered what's on the outside. I like to fight and I like to just get on with my work. I'm not bothered if... I mean, obviously it helps when you've got God knows how many friends cheering and shouting, but you don't hear them outside the ring. There's only one person who I hear, and that's Sean. And I listen to him. So no, it's not from my side. I know a lot of people do get off on it, but not for me. I'm just more bothered about getting on with the fight. I'm not too bothered what's outside of the ring.
You've had to wait a while for this opportunity. Talk of Ryan Walsh, the golden contract stuff. You were mandatory for over a year. You were meant to fight Jordan Gill. That didn't happen. Now you're in with Lee Wood. Did you think at any point waiting for this shot that this wasn't going to come off for you?
No, because obviously I was mandated probably 18 months ago. I was mandated a long time before what Lee Wood was. So I knew whatever happened, I was going to fight for the British title. I didn't know when it was going to be, but I knew it would happen. So I've just stayed on it, and I've just stayed in the gym until we obviously got the rough sort of date, and then we obviously knocked it up a gear in training.
Yeah, I mean, last time I spoke to you, I remember Nick grabbed you to the side and he was like, look, listen to us, train with us, and you'll get there, and we make champions. That was the headline we went with.
Yeah.
You've obviously been there sitting on the sidelines watching Josh Warrington. You've watched Maxi Hughes now kind of beat John O'Carroll and then Kotochagov over abroad and kind of put himself up there as well. Is a win over Lee Wood now your kind of coming out party and that kickoff for you now to get up there?
Yeah, definitely. I've said it a few times in interviews. This is my breakout fight for me. I've got to win, and I will win on Saturday night because I know how far a win here is just going to pollute me into the big stage, really. And there'll be some big nights ahead of me. I know, obviously, anything other than that, you're back on them smaller shows, fighting in leisure centres, do you know what I mean? And I just don't want to do that. So I know on Saturday night I've got to win.
Sean's notorious for making his game plans on the toilet. What's the game plan he's made for you? Is this a case of, you've got something strictly here that you got to adhere to, or are you just going to adapt as it comes and goes?
No, obviously we've got game plans. We don't quite know what Lee's going to bring, so we're going to adapt to what he does bring and change our plans to whatever he does bring. But whatever he does bring, I believe me on my best beats Lee on his best. I mean, he's saying he's got a new trainer, is all of a sudden is this and is that now. But you're not telling me at 32-year-old training with a new trainer for the last few months you're completely changed. I mean, I've not really had to show anything in any of my fights. I've got away with doing whatever I wanted and just winging it, really, just doing whatever I wanted in each fight. I've never had to go up gears really yet. But I know on Saturday night I will. Lee will make me go up levels, up gears.
And we talked about, some of my colleagues talked about, the idea of a firefight. Power has been kind of talked about and kind of earmarked between both of you. But is this the type of fight where, because of the power on offer by both fighters here, either of you could have to get up off the canvas to win?
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. We are both big punchers, so if he comes to meet me, that's going to happen. You know what I mean? There's no questions about that.